So, welcome back to Low Energy Videos. I am sorry to tell you that the video I was meant to be watching turned out to be a bit of a dud. So, what I did was not watch it. But, for your consideration, please enjoy me playing Tetris on my Game Boy. Oh yes, we're doing this. We are doing this because I can, cause it's my channel. I could set my beard on fire, but I'm not. This is my beard. It's my game of Tetris. You're not even gonna get to see it. I'm just gonna describe it. There was a long one here. I got one of the lines. There was a corner one. Corner one. That's entirely what one of these Tetris blocks are called. There's another corner one. Nah. Nah. Yeah. 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 Riveting. Yeah. Do you really think I'm gonna do that? Edit. Okay. So, I was a dick, but here is something majestic. Something I love dearly. And is pure and utter cheese. The good type of cheese, too. Ladies and gentlemen, the Skeleton Warriors theme.
These are the tales of the Skeleton Warriors. Skeleton Warriors! Skeleton Warriors! Skeleton Warriors!
Don't care about any of you. Get back to the skeletons. And I just came. You are lucky you can't see below my waist. It's that epic. It's that epic. For a minute there, I was like, wait, did I set my desktop up? Because you would have just heard that. You wouldn't have seen the amazing, amazing video. If you don't know what Skeleton Warriors was, and should be one day again, it was a TV. It was a cartoon. Kind of in the same vein as He-Man, as you could see, or Centaurians, but nowhere near as G.I. Joe knockoff-ish. I remember watching it on TCC, which also gave me The Tick, which is fucking glorious, and Earthworm Jim. Now, it never gave me it, because we never had it. By the time we got cable, TCC was just gone. But we had Fox Kids, and we had Cartoon Network, which was still showing all the oldies, and we had tons of others. So, you know, you traded one, you got another. And as it turns out, I'd already seen all the Skeleton Warriors theme, but at the time, my mom was seeing somebody, and he had really cool, I think it was Satellite. I think it was the first time I ever saw Satellite. and I watched so much of his TV. If he was trying to impress me, like all of 5-year-old me, I was probably a bit older, maybe 6, maybe. Like this was definitely a point in his, in his favor. But then again, I am easily bought off with skeletons. You can find every episode, as far as I can tell, on YouTube. And it, particularly this motherfucker right here, whose name is Baron Blood, if I remember right. And he's as camp as you hope he is. He is just so much in love of life. But he's also more menacing than Skeletor, which I know isn't too hard. But I mean, look at Skeletor, he looks menacing. This motherfucker looks menacing, and he does also kill people. Although he doesn't kill as many people as he just turns them to skeletons, which is meant to represent their evilness. So I guess calcium is the most evil of all the minerals. It kind of was listless and had an overarching plot. A plot that finished up, by the way. They actually had a start, middle, and end. Whereas, let's see, this is generic douche bro hero. Actually, as much as I hate it, I'll mute it. There, you can kind of see him. There. Quick clicking there, Dylan. Look at that face. That's also, I like that thing on top of his eyebrow. Always reminded me of like he just had a plaster on it. I got it. Ouchies. But yeah, he was like the prince, and he needed to rise up to the occasion to overthrow the evil Baron Blood. It got dark at times, and there was even a big climactic battle at the end where people died. It was really cool. Then you had generic woman. You needed a generic woman because the kids wouldn't watch it if there wasn't both male and female. She was about as milk as toast, but her outfit's kind of cool. It kind of reminds me of 90s Spider-Man, which is something I can definitely watch on this in the future. I did mean that, by the way, earlier what I said. I was going to watch something about a Bugatti Veyron made out of porcelain, but only bits of it are made out of porcelain. So what could I do with that, other than to say that you have way too much money? This guy... Stand still, for fuck's sake. Low energy editing. I mean, look at that outfit. That's actually... I think it was done by the same people who did the X-Men in the 90s. Now, there was a fucking show. How I got used to comics, because I never read comics. I've read maybe 10 in my whole life. Not saying they're bad, but I'm just not interested. I much more prefer to see the adaptation on screen. But this whole look of her reminds me of Rogue from the X-Men. Maybe not the outfit, but just, I don't know. She's flying and she's busty and she's got a lot of red hair. Or did she have brown? Did Rogue have brown hair? Yeah, so... Well, they don't really show him all too well, do they? Trying to get... Wait, there he is. Alright, now this motherfucker right here was the main cause of all the fuck-ups in the whole story. Because like I said, there's an actual story arc and everything. Can I even call this a reaction video? Well, yeah, you saw my reaction earlier. But it's just, I'm going up your nose now. It's just, he was so emo. He was so bitchy. I mean, his power is that he can literally phase through shadows. I mean, fuck's sake. You know, the Brandon Lee from The Crow is telling him to, you know, grow the fuck up. Oh, and this guy, he just shoots. He's like their uncle, and he shoots. I'm not going to even pause this. Thing about Skeleton Warriors I always loved. You could shoot them to bits, and you can cut their heads off. You can even, close to the, you can't deatomize them, or anything like that. But they're immortal, so every time they die, they come back. So I always liked that. I always love this mechanic, this sort of, this almost seems like a plot out of Heavy Metal, you know, that sort of era of animation. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Maybe it was like, we've got one too many like it. Oh, and this skeleton fella, voiced by, what's his name? I forget, but I've heard him before.
These are the tales of the Skeleton Warriors.
Yeah. He basically was the opening narrator and then the ending narrator. His head didn't really talk, like it didn't go. Instead, it just kind of like did this. Well, the really bad 90s animation. I think they had to start with like the basic metals and like stone and shit like that, and then moved on to more natural things like skin. But you know, this whole thing was, it's camp and it's it was not a huge part of my childhood, but for probably about 6 months of my life, I would go and watch that, and then I'd watch Earthworm Jim. And a few years ago, the almighty Jim Sterling, who you may have heard of before, he rediscovered it, and I was just there like, oh my god, Skeleton Warriors, yes. And there's even toys and the like from it, which of course there is. It's a 90s cartoon show. I think there's even a video game, but I hear it's shite. I might be wrong on that one. I might be wrong. But anyway, y'all thought I was going to just be playing this, didn't you? Yeah, so I'll have an actual video of tomorrow. I just thought, hey, I could review. I'll tell you what. I literally found this out just now. The guy who played the guy who played Mini-Me. What was his name? He's dead. He died. And I was going to talk about this, but I had already shot the opening, and you know, I couldn't start off with a I play video games sort of thing, and then finding out, oh, by the way, he's dead. This is going to drive me crazy. I must find out. There it is. Here it is. Vernon Troyer. He's dead. So, yeah, I was literally about to talk about that. Then I go, wait a minute, I recorded this opening. But yeah, I promised you a video today, so I delivered. But as you can tell, I was literally just pulling this out of my ass. But if you got a little bit of a chuckle, if you enjoyed the song, which I can't fucking blame you if you don't, if you enjoyed the song. Warriors. If you like that 90s, 80s Saturday morning cartoon cheese, and you want to see what else I can pull up from my recesses. Trust me, not all of it's as pretty as this. Some of it is, I'll just say Starship Troopers CGI. And I don't mean that horrible movie made not too long ago. But if you want, I can definitely talk about it. I can show you clips. I can even watch an episode of something like this. If it's on YouTube, I can watch it. But I'm really, really careful about that, because just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean the copyright strikes can't just come down. I'm a tiny channel. I wouldn't survive a second. I mean, the big ones don't survive a second, so it doesn't make a difference, really. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow, properly, for some Elite Dangerous live streaming. Sometime in the evening, so it really depends on when you're awake. Where I shall be going around and shooting things for a change, not just delivering shit from point A to point B to get a slightly better ship. But if you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Like if you like it, dislike if you dislike it. Comments are always welcome. Feedback is a must. And I will see you again soon. So, bye.